The next topic is issues in first language acquisition. And what are those issues? We have to cover competence, performance, comprehension, and production. Now, first of all, we have the four issues or four areas that we need to focus on with regard to first language acquisition. That is competence, performance, comprehension, and production. By competence, what do we mean by competence? That refers to one's ability to have a complete underlying knowledge of a language system, or you can say system. If it's not language, then it's just system, events, or facts. But it is also known as some kind of an activity which is non-observable ability to do something. And so that is what competence is. With regard to first language acquisition, we have to look at the competence in terms of linguistic competence. And when we say it's linguistic competence, that is one's underlying knowledge of language rule, linguistic rules, and how one has or is equipped with this understanding to perform. So the next step is performance. That performance relies on one's deep understanding of the linguistic rules, and your performance should be able to demonstrate the appropriacy of the linguistic output. Comprehension and production, they both are the aspects of competence and performance. When we talk about comprehension, we would say that it relies on the competence, relies on the understanding of the underlying system or knowledge. So if you have a sound comprehension, only then the production or the output would be relevant. Children understand more than they can produce, like adults do. So they have the ability, if you can guide them, you can tell them, they can understand, but they might not be able to produce the complete sentences or in multiple manner, one thing in multiple manner like adults do. But having said that, with regards to comprehension, they can understand more. Now, we will look at the competence, we will look at the performance, and how comprehension and production are two important aspects of these domains. The process of first language acquisition takes into account competence, performance, comprehension, and production matters. Performance requires competency, and production relies on comprehensible input. So we have seen that it refers to one's underlying knowledge of system, event, or fact. Performance is the overtly observable and concrete manifestation or realization of competence. So it relies on the competence. It is the actual doing of something, that is walking, singing, speaking, etc. Now, in technological societies, we have used the competence-performance distinction in all walks of life. In our schools, for example, we have assumed that children possess certain competence in given areas, and that this competence can be measured and assessed by means of observation of elicited samples of performance called tests and examination. Chomsky linked competence to an idealized speaker-hearer who does not display such performance variables as memory limitations. So they are ideal. They have no hearing problem or understanding problem. Distraction shifts of attention and interest, errors and hesitation phenomena such as repeat, false starts, pauses, omissions and additions. Now, Chomsky's point was that a theory of language had to be a theory of competence, and that actually says that infinite number of performance variables can be seen based on a very finite number of evidence. Then we have the competence performance model, which has not met with universal acceptance. Major criticism of the model focus on the notion that competence as defined by Chomsky consists of abilities of an idealized hearer-speaker, devoid of any so-called performance variable. We have Taron, who pointed out that idealizing the language user disclaims responsibility for a number of linguistic slips of the tongue that may well arise from the context within which a person is communicating, which means that Chomsky is talking about the idealized hearer-speaker conversation. But what about slips of tongue which can arise in a normal conversation? So in other words, all of a child's or adult's slips and hesitations and self-corrections are potentially connected to what Taron calls heterogeneous competence, that is, abilities that are in the process of being formed. Now, what can we conclude about language acquisition theory based on competence performance model? A cautious approach is to infer someone's competence will allow you to draw some conclusion about the overall ability of that individual. Now we will see that how comprehension and production can fit in this area of competence and performance. Now it says that not to be confused with the competence and performance distinction. Comprehension and production can be aspects of both performance and competence. Now, one of the myths in foreign language teaching material is that comprehension, which is listening, reading, can be equated with competence, while production, which is speaking, writing, is performance. It is important to recognize that this is not the case. Production is of course more directly observable, but comprehension is as much performance as production is. So in child language, most observable and research evidence points to the general superiority of comprehension over production. Children seem to understand more than they actually produce. To conclude, competence, performance, comprehension, and production contribute significantly in strengthening the language acquisition processes, whether it is first or second language acquisition.